Have you ever wondered why your cat follows you from room to room like a furry shadow? Yes, it's cute, but there's something far more complex happening that most people completely overlook. It's one of the most revealing behaviors your cat can display. And if you misinterpret it, which most owners do, you could be ignoring signals they've been desperately trying to send. Let's break down what this constant following really means. 1. It's not just about food. So why does your cat actually trail behind you everywhere? Most people jump to the obvious answer. They're hungry. You feed them. Case closed. But here's what doesn't add up. Cats are perfectly capable of waiting in the kitchen where their food bowl sits. They know exactly where meals happen. So why do they follow you into the bathroom, the bedroom, even the closet? Because this behavior runs much deeper than appetite. When a cat chooses to shadow your every move, they're making a conscious decision to stay connected to you. They're prioritizing your presence over comfort, over sleep, over their own independent nature. And for a species that's famously self-reliant, that's massive. Research in feline behavior shows that cats who follow their owners display attachment behaviors similar to those seen in dogs. When your cat refuses to let you out of their sight, they're saying something profound. You're not just my food source. You're my anchor. And by the way, if your cat suddenly starts following you more than usual, don't dismiss it. We'll cover what that shift really signals later, and it's something most owners realize too late. 2. They're keeping track of their territory. Ever notice your cat doesn't just follow you, they investigate everywhere you go. They sniff the spot where you stood. They rub against furniture you just touched. They patrol the areas you've entered. That's not random curiosity. It's territorial management. Cats are deeply connected to their environment. Every room, every corner, every object in your home exists within their mental map. And here's what most people miss. You're part of that territory. When you move through the house, you're essentially reshaping the landscape. You're opening doors, shifting air currents, bringing in new scents from outside. To your cat, these are significant changes that need monitoring. This is why your cat often walks into a room right after you do. They're not just following you. They're inspecting what you've altered. They're making sure everything still feels safe, still smells right, still falls within acceptable parameters. And when they rub against your legs in each new space, they're doing something crucial. They're remarking the territory with a scent that includes both of you. It's their way of saying, this space, this human, this moment, all of it belongs to our shared world. 3. You're their source of security. Here's something that might shift how you see your cat. Even though they act independent, even though they seem self-sufficient, you represent safety in a way nothing else does. When your cat follows you around, part of what's happening is deeply instinctual. In the wild, young cats stay close to their mothers for protection and guidance. Even as they grow, cats in colonies maintain proximity to trusted members of their group. It reduces risk. It increases survival odds. Your cat, despite being domesticated, still carries those ancient instincts. And in their mind, you become the equivalent of that protective presence. Watch what happens when something startles your cat. A loud noise, an unfamiliar visitor, a strange sound outside. Where do they run? Chances are they run toward you, not away, toward. That's not dependency. That's trust at a primal level. They've decided that wherever you are is the safest place to be. This is also why cats often follow their owners more closely at night or during storms. When the world feels uncertain, they want to be near the one thing that makes them feel secure. And that one thing is you. 4. They're studying your patterns. Does your cat seem to know your routine better than you do? They're waiting by the door before you even grab your keys. They're in the bathroom before you've finished your coffee. They appear in the bedroom right when you're about to wind down. This isn't psychic ability. It's observation. Cats are incredibly intelligent creatures, and they learn by watching. When your cat follows you everywhere, they're not just tagging along. They're gathering data. They're learning when you eat, when you leave, when you sleep, when you're most likely to play or give attention. Over time, they build a detailed understanding of your daily rhythm. And here's what makes this remarkable. They're not doing this passively. They're actively choosing to invest time and energy into understanding you. Think about that. Your cat has decided you're worth studying. Your habits matter enough to them that they've made it their job to know you inside and out. This is also why cats often anticipate your needs. They're not guessing. They've watched you enough times to recognize the patterns. 5. It's a conversation you're not hearing. Have you ever stopped walking and noticed your cat stops too? Or started moving again and watched them immediately follow? That back and forth, it's communication. When your cat follows you, they're often trying to tell you something. Sometimes it's obvious. They want food, they want play, they want the door opened. But other times it's more subtle. They're checking in. They're saying, I'm here. Are you okay? Is everything normal? Cats don't have words, so they use presence. Following you is one of the clearest ways they can say, I want to be part of whatever you're doing. It's an invitation to interact, to acknowledge them, to include them in your world. This is why ignoring a cat that's following you can sometimes lead to more insistent behavior. They meow more, weave between your legs, or plant themselves directly in your path. They're escalating the conversation because you haven't responded. And here's the thing. When you do acknowledge them, even just with a glance or a word, watch what happens. Often that's enough. They'll settle down, sit nearby, or wander off satisfied. They weren't necessarily asking for anything specific. They just wanted confirmation that you see them. 6. They're claiming you socially. Ever notice your cat follows you more when other people or animals are around? That's not jealousy in the human sense. It's social claiming. Cats are more socially complex than most people realize. They form hierarchies, alliances, and bonds. And when your cat sticks close to you in the presence of others, they're making a statement. This human is mine. This bond is established. In multi-cat households, you might notice one cat follows you significantly more than the others. That cat has often decided you're their person. They've formed a primary attachment, and following you is how they reinforce it daily. It's also why some cats become more clingy when you've been around other animals. You smell different. You've been giving attention elsewhere. Following you is their way of re-establishing the connection and covering you with their scent again. 7. When it suddenly increases, pay attention. What does it mean when a cat who was moderately attentive suddenly won't leave your side? This is critical, and it's what I mentioned earlier. When a cat dramatically increases their following behavior, they're often responding to something they've detected. Sometimes it's about you. Cats can sense illness, pregnancy, emotional distress, or changes in your body chemistry before you're fully aware. If your normally independent cat suddenly becomes your shadow, consider whether something in your health or emotional state has shifted. Other times, it's about them. Pain, anxiety, cognitive decline in older cats, or early illness can cause cats to seek constant reassurance. They feel vulnerable, and staying near you helps them cope. And sometimes it's environmental. A new threat outside, construction nearby, or changes in the household they haven't adjusted to yet. The key is recognizing that sudden changes in following behavior mean something. Your cat is trying to communicate. They're either worried about you, worried about themselves, or worried about their world. So pay attention, investigate gently, and if needed, consult your vet. Because when your cat follows you everywhere, it was never just a habit. It's a language, and learning to speak it might be one of the most important things you do for them.